All right, welcome to, I don't know, we're about week 4, but I wanted to go over a couple things that we need for our, um, potentially need for our Instagram videos. Um, just understanding aspect ratios. So when we're looking at projects in Premiere, so I'm gonna open up the existing frog video project. We want to know how to make different aspect ratio videos. I know some of you are probably shooting vertically for Instagram, but also definitely for TikTok. Um, and so let's look at how that works. There's my Premiere. You can see I already have a square aspect ratio up here. So I just wanted to go over quickly how to make custom sized aspect or custom sized sequences in Premiere for you. So we go up to sequence and we get a new one. You can go to settings and you can actually set the sequence size. So this is HD, right? 1920 by 1080. So with an aspect ratio of 16:9, that's a ratio of 16 to 9. And that's the size that your TV is, generally speaking. Um, so you could flip these and make vertical video. You could take this and make them like, you know, make them the same and make sequence 5 here be square. Now, when you're bringing in, say, horizontal video like I have here, so let's say I have horizontal video, you just want to make sure that you keep existing settings and don't change your sequence settings if you want to keep square video or vertical, or if you want to make vertical video horizontal, um, and so on. So let's say we did a sequence and we did our settings and we switched these. So we did 1080 by 1920 and said okay, right? We would end up with vertical video. Now, if I drag my horizontal video in here and keep existing settings, you'll see that he's the proper way, right? But if we'd shot this, see we shot this vertically and it came in horizontally or vice versa, we wanted to switch it around. We need to make sure that we're comfortable using the effects controls for the clip. And all you have to do is change the rotation, right? So I would rotate it 90 degrees in either direction, depending on how I needed it to fit. So either positive 90 or negative 90. There's negative 90. You can enter it with keys. It works pretty well. All right. So I want to go over that. And then I noticed that there were some talk about audio in the chat. So let's talk about that audio and how to sort of fix some of those audio issues or to at least work on them. Let me go to one of these other sequences. So let's say I have this sequence, which I think you'll be able to hear.
People, people catch them to eat them and make them pets.
Right.
This spread.
So a couple things are happening in this clip. So I've keyframed him, so it's doing a slow pan, which is something that you can do. And I think most of you watching the videos understand that, the keyframing part. Um, so there's the keyframe part, and I could move this keyframe and make it even a slower pan, so it would go across from him as he's reading. But now listen to the audio. He's pretty soft. So I could open up the audio settings here. There you go. And show keyframes. I can show the clip keyframes or I can show the track keyframes. We could talk for a second about the difference between track and clip. So the clip stays with the audio on the track. The track audio settings stay with the track. So let's go to audio. So if we're in Premiere like this, and we have, we have a track. So let's say we have his voice track, but I want to lay something over that. Summer mood, right? Right. So if I want to lay this over there, and this is just in Premiere, you could get a song from anywhere. I lay this track in here, and I want some consistent settings, right? I want some settings that are consistent. Like, so I'm gonna bring it way down for his voice, and then maybe when he's at some point so you can see his audio waveform here. So let's say we want to bring the music up when he gets quiet and bring the music, so they basically have an inverse proportion to each other. If I select this track, and so here's audio track mixer versus audio clip mixer. If I do audio track mixer and I go in here, so I can see that the music's on audio 2, which I could rename to music. And you'll see it if I rename it up here, it renames down there. And let's say I want music to start off pretty soft. And let's say I want to control it on the fly. So let's say I go to latch in the settings here, and I bring his audio, the music all the way down. And then we start playing.
People catch them, to eat them and make them pets. This spreads diseases. Pesticides are absorbed through their skin and kills them. Invasive species like other frogs.
So what I've done is I've managed to record that my movement in the track. So if I went to keyframes volume track, you'd see the waveform or the keyframe form that I built by just moving the slider up and down with latch on.
People catch them, to eat them.
Now, this is just an example, right? So let's go in and fix up his audio, and then we're gonna hypothetically decide on another piece of music. So let's make his volume better. So let's look at audio effects. And one audio effect that I want to show you guys today is mastering. So I'm going to drag that to the clip. So with mastering on, and I go to effects controls, you can see my mastering is on.
People catch them, to eat them and make them pests.
So let's just for a second, I'm going to mute the audio, the music track, and I'm going to move this back.
People catch them to eat them and make them pests. This spreads diseases. Pesticides are absorbed through their skin and kills them. Invasive species like other frogs and predators eat them. This is how to help frogs. Plant more plants, especially native ones. This provides them with shelter and food and insects. Don't use pests.
Right. So I can play around. What happens with some filters like mastering, you can decide on the hertz range. Now I know there have been questions about background noise, and most machinery background noise is around 60 hertz in our world. But you can help mitigate some of that. Also, if you have sharp spikes, like you have a really quiet soundtrack and there's a loud noise, a filter like this can help with that. I also might go see, make room for vocals. Right, so you could go in here and see what that sounds like.
They kill the frogs. Build a frog pond or place a bird bath on the ground. Volunteer with frog conservation groups.
Is there anything else you wanted to tell the club about frogs or how to keep them safe?
Not really.
So, let's listen to it without, let's listen to with the filter on and without the filter on. All right, so here's with the filter on.
People catch them to eat them and make them pest.
And here's without the filter on. So I'm going to turn the filter off.
People catch them.
So effectively, this filter is just acting as a gain. But if you'd had a wide range of audio, like really loud and really soft, this can help with that. Other things that would help, let's talk about other audio. If you go up to filter EQ, filter and EQ, you could drop down a 30 band graphic equalizer, and you could be very specific about what range you want to. So if there's wind, something like that, you could try to bring up the vocal range and down the wind range, for instance. Or background noise, drop down the kind of hum that's happening in the background and try to up everything else. So you can be pretty detailed with that. Now, if you have music or something like that, where let's say your track listing, your track is maximizing, or if you just want to up the gain, you can always right click on the track and go to audio gain. And I could go through here and normalize all peaks to 0 dB, or say, -2 or -4, and you'll see like it will just up all my volume levels.
Eat them and make them pets. This spreads diseases. Pesticides are absorbed.
So you can hear my two things working together, that maximize, but also the mastering on there that's constraining it so it's not getting too loud. Let's see what it sounds like all together.
People catch them to eat them and make them pets. This spreads diseases. Pesticides are absorbed through their skin and kills them. Invasive species like other frogs and predators eat them. This is how to help frogs plant more.
So let's say I did that. Let's say I did something silly like up that gain right there. And you can see I immediately went red. You want to go in here and then fix that. And you can fix that usually by controlling the, well, I mean, I could just control the actual volume. That's probably the easiest way to do it. But you can see I could also, let me change it to clip. I could change the clip audio, change the audio gain on that. But that I want to show you something else. So let's say I delete the clip from that track because I wanted something else. Now, if I go through and I show my keyframes for my track, you can see my track keyframes are still there. So if I wanted Epic Cinema,
or plants, especially native ones, this provides them with shelter and food and insects. Don't use.
So if I wanted Epic Cinema now to sit in that spot, I could just drag Epic Cinema in here, and then I would have Epic Cinema with the same controls already set on it for the track.
People catch them to eat them and make them pets. This spreads diseases. Pesticides are
All right. So that's really what I wanted to show you. I'm going to go right to another video and talk about some social media stuff. And so there was your demo video. Then we're going to work on the other video right now. All right. I'll see you in the other video.